Here we have the new 2024 Chevrolet Silverado 3500 HD. Now this one's a dually, so we have the dual rear wheels on the back. LT trim level, comes in Summit White. And then we have jet black leather interior. For the powertrain, we get a 6.6 liter turbocharged V8 diesel engine. That's mated to the 10-speed automatic Allision transmission. But as you come around to the front end, this doesn't have the more updated and refreshed front end. You can see a bit of a refresh here, but we don't have the LED daytime running lights or headlamps, just the halogens here. And of course, those halogens should be an easy swap. We do get fog lights as well, and I'll show you how those look when we come back around and look at the engine. I love these wheels here. We got these 17-inch aluminum wheels. And this one's loaded out with a lot of technology that's good for hauling, or towing, excuse me, especially if you have a gooseneck. Now to the door panel here, power door lock controls. And then we have one-touch automatic up and down windows for the driver's side, express down for the other three. Power mirror controls are there, rear window lock as well. Tons of storage here in the door panel, 2 bottle holders. Over here, we have our headlamp controls, bed light, gauge cluster, and then we can go through our drive modes. We just have off-road and normal on that digital gauge cluster there. And then we have our full 4-wheel drive controls there. So 2 up, 4 up, or 4 down. And then we have our electronic parking brake, press to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. And then for the 4-wheel drive, if you want to go into that 4-wheel low, you do have to put the truck into neutral before fully engaging that. Hood release there. This does have the all-weather floor liner package. The release for the manual tilt and telescopic steering wheel is right here. You gotta pull on it pretty hard with it being a new truck and all, and we can just pull that back up to lock it. And here we have our power driver's seat and 2-way power lumbar support. Leather feels nice, I like that. And then let's go ahead and take a look at these tow numbers here. So this truck in particular, with a conventional trailer, you can pull 20,000. With a gooseneck, you can pull up to 31,000. And then max payload is gonna be 5294. So of course, pretty impressive tow figures. And a huge shout out to Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this truck today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But it's gonna be kind of hard to see everything on here, so I'm just gonna go straight to the options, and just right in here, where my phone's kind of covering the glare, you can see that. So we have a leather package, a sunroof. This has tons of options on it. And that sticker price is $77,480. Well, let's go ahead and hop in the back seat and look at this incredible leg room. So I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. And as you can see, legs are nowhere near the seat. And headroom, I have an abundance of that as well, several inches. Seat back pockets are on both sides, which is nice. Rear AC vents are there. You have a USB-C, USB-A charge port, bottle holders for the back here, and then an extra one in each door panel, and then 2 more in the center seat fold in there. Premium reading lights in the back, those LEDs. Love having these hanger hooks. You can hang your uniforms. Several plastic hanger hooks or metal ones will suffice there. And then we'll fold the seat up. Little storage underneath there. But then you also have additional storage here in the seats themselves, which is pretty cool. And then for the child lock, if you want to engage, pull to the right, disengage, pull to the left. And then we do have our diesel and then our depth fluid tanks right in here. And then we're going to come around to the back end. And we do get the LED signature tail lamps. I'm not for sure if these brake lights, I think these brake lights are LEDs, but I think the reverse lights are not. But a nice looking rear end there. Exhaust, spare. And then we have a 120 volt 3-prong plug-in. And then the gooseneck's already cut out here. And gooseneck lights. And we can also power fold this tailgate up or down, which is always a nice feature to have here. Now as we go to the front passenger side, we have a manual seat, but it's still leather, and then you can just adjust the seat back here and move the seat bottom back and forth there. Little storage in the side. We have that top compartment and then a lockable bottom traditional glove compartment there. And we're just gonna take, I know it's a little dirty, but the side mirrors here. So we don't have blind spot monitors, but we do have the trailering mirror. And then we do have the lights on the sides there as well. So even with this LT, and again, it does have a lot of options, but I like how it's spec'd out here. And here we have that Duramax 6.6. Gotta love the sound of that. And then there are those LED fog lights. And once you swap those, if you want to swap the headlamps out, I probably wouldn't. But if you want to swap those out for LED as well, shouldn't be too hard to do. But here we have the leather wrap steering wheel. There's the horn there. For whatever reason, out the back, I don't know where that's coming from, but it sounds super loud in here. So I wonder if that's natural or if that's simulated. But anyways, in this LT here, I love that we get this new Google Assistant screen. So that allows you to get AM, FM, XM radio along with Bluetooth. And then we also have Google News and Podcasts along with Alexa capability. And then we have that wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay compatibility as well. Now hit this button here. We have all of our trailering stuff here. So let's just use a guest trailer so you can kind of see how this works. You can go through the lights, checklist, weight, all that can be full width there. If you want to connect your phone, just go in here, manage phones. It'll walk you right through with instructions when you hit add phone. And then we do have access to the Google Maps screen with a subscription. Let me just say, it's a fantastic system in my opinion. And I like the subscription because for those of us that might only use this once or twice ever, it's nice to just have to pay for the subscription as opposed to having to pay $500-600 for the actual navigation to be full on and we don't use it. And especially with the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, you probably just would rather use the maps on your phone anyway. Backup cameras there, guidelines follow you to turn the steering wheel. And you can get a more in-depth package that includes the bed view camera and front camera and all of that, but a lot of people don't need that. And then we have dual zone automatic climate controls. Here in the settings, you can actually go through, scroll down here to system and change your language right in here. And you have a few other options as well. So updates and all that can be done. Vehicle settings in here, which include teen driver, rear seat reminder, and then buckle to drive. And then down here, exhaust brake toggle, the lane keeping system and lane departure. We can toggle that tailgate, hazards, and then traction control. I like that we have a home button here if you don't like hitting that, and then it just takes you back to where you need to be. Volume knobs here, you can click that to mute. And then for those dual zone climate controls, we do have the capability to use the screen if you want to do that. It's pretty neat how they have that set up, but if you just want to have your nav up here and don't want to necessarily have this taking up the whole screen, you can use your buttons and knobs here just like you're used to traditionally. Auto mode, turn that on there, and you can turn that off by adjusting fan speed. And then we have 3-stage heated front seats, a USB-A, USB-C port, and then our trailer brake controller here. Big storage pocket here, bottle holders, wireless charging pad, and then a 3-prong household plug-in, another USB-C, USB-A duo there, removable tray, and then you have even more space. And I know a lot of people ask about these newer trucks, like, hey, where's the 12 volt? Especially in these more upgraded ones, you'll have the traditional plug-ins, but they do have I'll try to remember to leave a link in the description, but they have these things where you can actually convert a USB-A to a 12-volt socket. So if you have an older, I don't know, like let's say you have a backup camera that runs off of a 12-volt or something like that, you can just plug the USB-A there, and then you have a 12-volt socket, and you can just plug that, and it'll get power from the USB-A. But there was that sliding rear window. We have a power sunroof as well. Again, that's a $995 option, I believe. So we can one-touch slide that back. You can tilt it if you want to as well. And you can one-touch close it. And all of those buttons are right in here. And then we have the reading lights up front. And then we do have a vanity mirror here. No lights, but it's a heavy-duty truck, so I'm not surprised there. Now back to the steering wheel, we can toggle cruise here, cancel, set speed, and then adjust the gap adjust for the forward collision alert here. Heated steering wheel toggles there, and then we have a mute button, voice recognition, and then we can go through our gauge cluster here. And if you want to change your units from US to metric, that's how you do that. And you can also change your info page options as well if you want to take certain things off and then put other things on, which I usually like to do. I don't like the standard setup usually, a little picky, but a lot that we can do here, which I appreciate. And then for the shifter, just pull down, reverse, neutral drive, and then you have that low gear there. You can toggle or manually shift the limiter. And then over here, windshield wiper controls, intermittents, low, high, off right here, and then one time there. Push that for the rear wiper, or for the front wiper fluid, excuse me. And then auto high beam toggle is there. And then we can toggle the high beams and flash there. Behind the steering wheel on the left side, we can go through our track list or radio station presets, up, down. And then behind on the right side, volume, up or down. There's the push button start. And then finally, here's our key fob with remote start. And we also have that up, down tailgate function as well. But now to the fun part. Let's go ahead and take this 2024 3500 HD dually out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this 3500 HD with the Duramax, I love the powertrain. I've said this in pretty much every Duramax I've reviewed. The turbo diesel mated with the Allision 10-speed just makes for a seamless driving experience, even with this big truck. I mean, the shifts are clean, power output is fantastic, and the sound you get from the engine bay is great as well. Now we're gonna give it a bit of throttle getting on the interstate here. Let's see what kind of fuel economy we get just cruising here. So this is without a load or anything. So we're on a slight incline. We're getting right at 15 miles per gallon. Now ride quality wise, it's a heavy duty dually truck, so it's not gonna be smooth. But especially when I'm not hitting bumps, ride is pretty good. A lot in part to these leather wrapped seats here and just having them power adjustable and all of that. Having the cloth seats would probably be a bit less comfortable. But wind noise is not bad, honestly. Road noise, not a big deal. And as you can see, our fuel economy, we're still in the double digits, mid double digits, so. But the overall, especially on the interstate, wider lanes, the dually isn't too hard to handle or keep in the lines on more, I guess, established roadways, if that makes sense. Now, back roads and things of that nature, certainly dirt roads, you might have an issue depending on how wide they are, but just driving around here in the city, not really a big deal. If an 18-wheeler can fit through there, I can fit through there, no problem with this. Now for the price, it is a bit steep. I mean, everything is steep these days. You're looking at 80 grand for a fully loaded pickup truck, where 60 used to be pretty high, and you try and talk a dealer down $5,000 more. But especially now, just with how the economy is, inflation, and just the cost of everything skyrocketing, this is about average on what you get for the money. Now, typical General Motors, they tend to like their profit margins a bit better than, let's say, Ford or Chrysler, or Stellantis, excuse me, but you still get quite a bit for the money with this one in particular. I mean, you have the rear sliding window, the power sunroof. Of course, you have the standard Chevy safety assist, excuse me. And then just all the new technology with the refreshed interior, having this all digital display, having this 13.4-inch Google Assistant system. Love the climate controls, they look very nice. Just everything seems premium in this truck, even though it's just an LT model. But it pretty much has an LTZ price tag. But I mean, we get the power up down tailgate. You get most of the features that you can expect on an LTZ on this LT. But compared to an F350, it's really preference, I think, these days. Everything is expensive. You could plan on paying 10 grand for a turbo diesel setup over the traditional gas engines, pretty much across the board from the big three. And really, nobody brings a true dually to the table other than the American automakers at this point. We'll give it one more pull here. So again, for a little less than 80 grand, could you get something that might be more worth your while? Depends on what you're looking for. Now, I will say for almost 80 grand, I would like to have LED headlamps, but again, easy swap. So no big deal there, but seems like it'll be a long-lasting truck, and it does feel and seem nice. So this will bring me to the end of my review of this 24 Silverado 3500 HD.